The only pain is my ego because I can't.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh yeah, like when we had you out there hitting golf balls, you wanted to be hitting them 250.
Right.
Well, that anchors me.
Yeah, well,
Back in the day.
yeah, that was what he did. Yeah.
Right.
I used to win.
And Mark was the same way.
I used to win long drive contests at a lot of events, and
Yeah.
Oh, you and Tommy Eddings used to
plus.
have the kids stuff at Avon
Yeah.
Oaks. You used to always be the AA champions and all that stuff.
Yeah, and like you said, you felt stuff earlier.
All right. Welcome back to the Sandy Hahn podcast, episode 62. Been looking forward to this one because we were supposed to do it last week, but unfortunately, I went in the hospital. Had a little issue, but I'm doing good. All's well. So, a couple things before we get started. The fundraiser again. I got to keep mentioning that. We've, tickets went on sale. I don't know, a few weeks ago. We've already got a number of sponsors. A lot more people I've talked to. Who some more people are going to be doing sponsorships. So that's great news. A lot more ideas that we're coming up with. Tyler's going to be there recording the whole thing. I'll get a lot of podcasts out of that. And then, buddy of mine, Mark Lowry, he teaches all this stuff in Columbus. It's his job. He's got ideas, and he's going to have one of his students right there walking around talking to people. So it's going to be cool what he's coming up with. So looking forward to that. And then a couple really cool things this past few weeks, because the fundraiser actually now is taking on a new meaning for me, because it was originally started with some friends who wanted to help me get a motorized wheelchair and a transport van so I can do more. It's just peace of mind, because I can only go so far with that thing until I get tired. With the motorized wheelchair, I can go a lot more places. I can go to the Browns games, to a tailgate without having to the trains and crowds too much. So I can go to concerts. I can just live life, and it's in a less stressful way. So that's really cool. But then I've been really trying to reach out to anyone with MSA, and I haven't had a whole lot of people. There's a guy named John Como I've met, talked to him all the time. I'm going with him to a support group tomorrow night.
Where does he live, Sammy?
He lives in the Flats. He was a trauma surgeon at Metro.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So he was, and he's 57, and he had the same issues, and he can still walk and drive, which is better than me. But I'm so excited because I want to work with him, because he talked about the lack of support. And he goes, "Have you been to?" And I go, "No." The only one I even found, wouldn't call a support group, that was a Facebook group, people with MSA. And I joined that for a few weeks, and then they wanted me off, and I said, "Fuck you." These people are so negative, they're whining,
right.
And I'm trying to be positive, and I'm walking and golfing, sharing stuff, and they're like not believing that I'm sick. I don't even believe you have. I'm gonna see your diagnosis. It's horrible. I'm like,
They wanted to be a whining group.
you want me to see your whine like you?
Yeah.
You want to keep acting this way, that's why you're gonna die.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not dying. I'm beating this because I understand how they feel, because that's how I felt last summer. I couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed. I thought I was dying, and I didn't want to live like that.
Yeah.
But I never gave up. A lot of them give up, and then
That's it.
that's it.
Right.
I didn't give up, and now I'm back, and I'm fucking golfing.
Yeah.
I'm
Your
gonna
mind has a lot of power in you.
Yes, and these lovely gentlemen Aaron Lowe, Doug Crumbling were the ones who got me back in the course, and it makes me emotional thinking about it. It's changed my life already, and things keep getting so much better. And just to finish that one last point with John Como about the sport group thing only tomorrow night, I'm looking forward to, because there hasn't been any. He found one that's Parkinson's, and this is related to Parkinson's, but it's like a fucking mean older brother. And I said, hell yeah, I'll go. I want to share so much with them. He's going to another thing in New York with they have a bunch of MSA patients. I want to go to that and share with them what I'm doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, they have these new advances. No, they don't. Nobody knows anything about this. It's so rare.
Yeah, it's very rare.
They don't know what they're doing. Well, why don't you listen to me and tell you what I'm doing? Because I'm better. And I just want to share it with people. I want to help.
That's awesome.
And
Absolutely.
I feel like it's a calling, and that's why I want to help
Gotta
John
start
Como.
somewhere.
Yeah, and I want to, obviously the fundraiser, I hope I can get things, but I want to use any of the money, which is why I started the foundation, to help others. I want to help other people with this disease or anything else. I know I can do it, so sorry, I get excited about it, but
You should be.
that's really my
You should
hope.
be.
So it's going great. And then other thing I'll mention real quick is I went this morning to a place called The Turn in North Olmsted. They helped Disabled People Golf. They helped Aaron's Mark was out there. I think he was, I don't know how much
They trained him on a similar vehicle that he's using now. So he had an idea how to use it. And then the particular inventor of his current vehicle, we had him out for 3 days for training.
Okay,
So,
cool.
but it was a good starter. And, you could tell when you went out on it.
It's not easy.
Well, it's not easy, but to have the mindset of being out there, again, swinging a club. When was the last time you were going to think you were going to swing a club? Right?
I never thought I would.
Right?
And then Doug mentioned it. We were at Fratello's, and next you know, I'm like, do you think Aaron would let me try it?
Yeah.
So now at Fratello's that night, you said that. I said, I think Mark's a great guy. I'm sure he'd be happy to let you use the cart.
Oh.
And you said, unbelievable. You said, didn't think I was ever going to swing a club again. And look at you now.
Yeah.
And now,
A little sore the next day, but
yeah,
it worked out okay.
a little bit, but I'm going to get there. And I'm going to get my handicap established with the new cart. And
You're still giving me strokes, dude.
I'm going to start beating your ass.
So with that handicap, just so you know, Matt, our Club Pro, has a USGA ADA pamphlet that is how they create Mark's handicap.
That's good to know.
So
thank you for
That's
that. I
right.
don't even see what I thought about.
They have all the rules for the handicap in reference to bunkers and hillsides and that type of thing. So
It's great to know. Thank you for that. I'll make sure to talk to him about that.
Oh yeah, that's great.
wonderful.
And you kind of had to have it because Mark plays a lot. I mean, we played. If I had to guess this year, we're probably between 40 and 60 rounds in for this year alone. And with him playing in the Invitational, you got to make sure that everyone knows this is how the rules apply to him.
These are the USGA rules
He's allowed
for
to
him.
move the ball.
Yeah.
If he moves it out of the bunker, he has to go to, say, the rough and chip. So he has to, he can't move it from the bunker to an area where he can putt. So there's a whole pamphlet that he's got.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. I mean, Matt's done a wonderful job of creating all this for Mark, but for the future.
Mm-hmm.
For, say, Johnny Cavalier, when he can't
Uh-huh.
walk,
Yep.
he's more than welcome to use Mark's cart. Anybody at that club is more than welcome to use Mark's cart, as long as Mark's not using it.
Yeah.
You know, which you might have a hard time finding because he does do
Mark's
it a
got a
lot.
few tea times lined up.
But you know, I mean, it's a lifesaver, man. I mean, it's great.
I can't wait to talk about that and what I'm going to be doing, but I kind of skipped over the formal. Let's get to know it. You know, take a minute. Aaron Lowe and Doug Kremling, family, where you live, all that stuff. Just say a few things about.
All right, so again, like you said, I'm
Kids.
Aaron Lowe, and I have 4 girls.
4 girls.
Congratulations.
How old are they?
They are, oh boy, they're gonna yell at me if I get it wrong. The oldest is 32, and then 24, 20. No, 28, 23, 21.
We'll check those answers.
Don't worry about it. We were in Michigan last week talking with someone, and my wife was saying my son Xander was 23.
Yeah.
He's 20. He just turned 25. We both looked at, what the hell is? She's like,
Yeah, so there's my mom and dad. They are still alive, thank God. 91 years old.
Wow.
My dad still plays 9 holes of golf every week.
Are they in town or are they in?
They're right down the street from Avon.
That's great.
He plays at Bobolinks with his buddies. They, scramble type thing, but
Well,
he's out there
get
doing
on
it,
the course.
right, you know. But they have, I want to say, 43 grandchildren,
Wow.
and I believe 13 great grandchildren.
Wow.
So, matter of fact, we're going to Veranda tomorrow to introduce their youngest grandchild. That was my daughter, just born 2 weeks ago. 3
Grandpa.
weeks ago.
Wow.
So that's my 3rd grandchild.
Grandpa.
I have a 7, a 2.5, and just a newborn.
He's a
All
badass.
girls again.
He's a badass grandpa. Looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I've already said. Well, in Veranda, I've been there. They have one of those seats that you can sit in that goes up the floor.
Yeah.
I used that last time. The bathroom was a long line.
Right.
I'm getting on that. And my friend, Tommy Lawrence got me in the video.
Right.
We're going up and I'm singing that, my baby takes from the Seinfeld with
Right.
George said.
Nice.
That was so funny. That's great.
So yeah, I mean, and then like I said,
And where are you living again?
I live in Rocky River.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
off
in
of
River?
Wager, in between Erie and Inslee. Yep, been there for I want to say 9 years, I think.
So yeah, you are close to that stretch lab.
Oh, and
It's there.
That's something that I'm definitely going to
You
look
got
at.
to do it. It is,
Yeah.
for me, it was the lifesaver.
Yeah.
It just
My wife Lyd sees me literally doing yoga every single morning. That's all she says to me. She goes, "That's all you do is stretch and golf, stretch and golf."
A few
you're gonna
cocktails.
love
A few
the
cocktails.
I mean,
here.
and I'm going to have one. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a great ride. I retired 4 years ago from the fire department. I've been doing residential real estate since 2000. I originally started out flipping houses, and then I thought, if I got my license, I can flip my own houses.
Yeah.
Save a little money. But literally, when I got my license in 2010, I haven't flipped a house since, just because of how busy it's been, which is good, So
That's
it's nice to be able to do that, and have a decent retirement from the fire department. Love the fire department, but I'm really glad we did 4,300 calls a year
Wow.
in a very small city, South Euclid, 4 square miles, 26,000 people.
wow.
Yeah, it was busy.
That's a lot of calls.
It was busy, so
It's awesome,
it
Mike.
was fun. And about the only thing I miss from it is, the camaraderie of the guys. And I mean, you live with them basically you're there 24 hours and then off 48. So you're living there 9 days a month.
Wow.
You know, and fraternity style.
How was the food?
Well, I cooked, so I thought
You
it was
were
really
cook?
good. I was cooked. I cooked for about 15 years, and then we switched off from guys.
I guess you should ask the other guys how was the
Was
food.
that it? He never has to cook. He
You know,
says it's great.
So the beauty of it was for me. So we kicked in $11 a day, and that was for lunch and dinner.
Wow.
So I went to my mom, who had 11 children, 9 boys and 2 girls. I said, how the heck did you
Wow.
afford to cook for that many people? So she gave me every recipe,
All right.
you know, comfort food, which was the, you know, most reasonable priced.
I'm going to assume the food was probably pretty good then.
Yeah, I think the best was probably my favorite, at least, was the homemade jambalaya.
Ooh,
Yeah,
spicy.
spicy.
I like it spicy.
Very good.
Yeah, I like it spicy. So that was good.
That's awesome. Not only is it great to, I've known you, known of you, and then from the golf course to now, we've gotten very close.
Mhm.
And this is awesome here. I can't wait
Yeah.
to get to know you a lot more
I
going
just
forward.
had one of my best buddies there, Ken Slatt, on there not too long ago.
Ken was on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Ken.
and he's the best. Dave was my year, but I went down to Florida, Bonita Springs area, and I think it was their dad that I saw on the driving range.
Hmm.
You know, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. So, but yeah, Kenny, Dave, I've known that family. They lived over in the music streets in Westlake
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while, and a lot of boating.
Good to know. Well, we'll get together with Ken
Yeah,
soon. He plays out of Red Tail volleyball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great guy.
he's a red tail guy.
Got a lot of stories
All right.
that
Well,
we couldn't
I
say on the.
haven't been invited to Red Tail yet.
Yeah, Ken.
Ken Slatt.
Uh-huh.
I
So,
think we're all available.
Doug, I've known Doug since, well, middle school, high school.
Middle school, yeah.
And his family and his parents loved your dad. God rest his soul.
Thank
He
you
was
very
a
much,
beautiful
yep.
man. He was always so nice.
Miss
to
him
me.
every day.
So nice to me and your mom. Just so. Well,
So, yeah, Sandy and I were proud Bay Village-ites.
Bay Rockets.
Go Rockets.
You were 83.
I was 83.
Brad New.
Brad Newhoff. Yep.
You and Brad Newhoff were buddies. Me, Matt Newhoff, were
Yep.
best friends. So you
And
know,
I'm still friends
playing
with
football and
Tom
stuff.
House, Mark Eisman, Scott Chapman, Scott Francie.
Yeah,
Whole group are still,
that's cool.
still close. And
I'd like to come out with you
Dad
some.
was close to
Mhm.
your dad.
yeah. Lid's dad was friends with my dad,
Yeah.
Reg Lyman at Avon Oaks. And,
If you guys get together, I'd like to tag along.
Yeah,
and see those guys.
absolutely.
Remember, all those guys. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them in a long time. But sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Keep
We Bay Village graduate. Went to. I lived in. I thought what was a great house in North Ridgeville for 3 years as a bachelor, and Lisa and I got married, and she told me, "You realize we're not living here." And 6 months later, we moved, and we built our house in Avon Lake 26 years ago. Been there ever since.
You've been in
And,
that house for that long?
26 years. Yep.
It's a great. You've had some good.
Oh, it's a great
Christmas
neighborhood.
parties in there.
Oh yeah.
That
When you're ready to sell it, I know a good way.
Know somebody? Yeah, it's a great neighborhood, and
you guys always had the best Christmas party.
yeah, we had to stop that because it was just
Yeah, we were out of control.
it got to the point where it took me a week to recover.
Right.
But yeah, we lost my dad about 2 years ago. My mom's still around. Daughter's will be 27 July 18th. She was born Thursday night of Men's Invitational, and yes, I did play that week, which wasn't real popular. But
And how did you play?
we finished, a lot going on that week.
Was it an early 2 o'clock?
it was mid-morning. Yeah, it was brutal. But and then so she's engaged, living in Lakewood. My son's living in Lakewood. Everybody's doing great. My mom's still around. Just recently moved her to Rose Senior Living in Avon. It's just a little lonely at the house without Dad around, and so she's now at a place where she's got friends and activities.
Assisted living.
She's in the independent part of it. I mean,
But she can go and play cards.
Play cards. They have a cafeteria. They have there's activities. They go places, and she can move to an assisted portion if she wants to. But right now she's fine. She's got a little kitchenette. She can cook if she wants. So,
cool.
Everybody's doing great.
Well, that's cool. To keep her in mind.
Yeah. It was definitely we noticed a difference. She was just the isolation, especially over the winter, was really tough, and so. She's now, even middle of winter, she can go play cards with people or see people at lunch and dinner and stuff to do.
I have a request. Aaron, could you help me get some
I would be happy to.
ice? Or help me make another beverage? Oh!
As long as you're up there.
And then we'll get started talking about some more golf. Because that's what's really brought us all together.
Right.
Avon Oaks Country Club, which is just awesome.
You're going to change your...
I grew up there.
You're going to change your status from...
Well, I'm trying to, and I thought I could... I used to be a golf member. Been there my whole fucking life.
You've been there as long as me. My parents joined Sandy when I was 14.
See that pour?
like that?
That's a man's pour.
There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
All good.
Grab that bottle of wine.
As long as you're up. Just keep it. Just keep it up.
There you go.
Or just keep it over there, Doug.
No, I got no problem being up there like that, right?
You are quite a server. What a gentleman.
Expect a tip.
But it's been so cool because golf is why we're here now. I mean, I played years out there. It's just cool, and that you guys are at Avon Oaks. I want to spend more time out there, but again, I'm a social member because I couldn't play.
Wow.
Obviously, and I thought I could just come back and
Switch over
to like not 50 people on the waiting list.
So, did you talk to them about that?
Yeah, I said, really? I can't. I mean, I was golf, now this.
So do social members have precedence over the waiting list?
I think we should check again because I think they're talking about somebody who had previous status or something,
right?
Being able to,
which
and
I
jump
did,
the line's wrong word.
And the reason I'm not because
medical.
Sure.
Right.
So
Yeah.
couldn't
So
I?
I think
that'll definitely. I agree with
I
you.
think
that's
there's been
you
conversation
ask?
about
I
that.
was going to ask you that anyway.
Yeah.
But now we're doing it on here.
Yeah.
So, because I think that's a valid reason
Oh,
to
I
be
totally
able to.
agree.
Especially going from golf to social and now wanting to go back to golf. There's, it's not.
And then I got to pay the. Oh, sorry. Then I could pay the initiation fee.
No.
They're saying I do.
Maybe a difference of what you paid.
Well,
Back then,
what
which
you
was
paid for
probably
the golf.
not.
I paid nothing back then.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know all the rules, but I know there's been conversation because there have been several people who wanted to go, who used to be one classification, went to something else and wanted to come back. And like I said, jump the line is the wrong word, but kind of like you were already in, so you should.
That's
somewhat
what I thought
get
would happen.
Yeah.
And, with the initiation fee, it's like, I mean.
Yeah, it's up there now.
That's like 12.5.
12.5, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a waiting. I mean,
would
waiting
appreciate
is like
if you
40
guys could-
people, 30, 40 people.
You were
or something.
important guys. You have pull out there. But, so it's just a great club. It's doing so well now.
If you want to have fun, come to the Oaks.
And I want
You will have fun.
Yeah. that was where you mentioned just being on the course,
Yeah.
which was so awesome. But then going back to the grill room
Yeah.
and sitting
Right.
with the guys, having
Yeah.
a burger, having drinks,
Yeah.
and just shooting the shit.
We talked about it a little
That
bit before
I
we
miss.
started recording that Mark loves that, especially over the winter. You know, there's nothing going on, but he goes out into the hitting net, hits some balls, has a couple of beers and a burger, and hangs out for a little bit and heads home. You give you something to do, hang out. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I've literally, for a few months, I would work out, shower, and then I'd come out here and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
So I could.
And how much of that could
I
you
didn't have a
watch?
whole lot to do. I
Right.
occasionally do some things.
Yeah.
People come and pick me up and go at lunch, but a lot of days. But now I'm like, oh, I got my schedule.
You got stuff to do.
I'm going to golf as much as I can. If I'm not golfing, I'll be in the range or at this place or even Oaks.
Yeah.
But playing. Now I did talk to Steve, who's out there, and he was at the wedding.
Steve Morris.
See,
Yeah.
brain fart. A dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was taking care. He was getting me beers all night because, hard to move, and he just always go. Mm-hmm. He bring it right. I love that. Steve Morse, your dear friend, and then he was talking about, well, he has a bunch of passes that he. They sent you passes if you didn't do anything. They would just
They
charge you.
send you 5 every year.
You can buy
as
up to 10.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, I thought it was more than that, but
We see he's got a bunch loaded up. They never.
Because if you buy them every year, the ones from the previous year roll over.
they
The
do
unused
up
ones.
to a certain
Yeah,
number
certain
of
number,
years,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
3 years, I think
Yeah.
you can. But
Well,
Yeah.
he said he would give those to me.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
could play.
Yeah.
no,
Well,
you're,
'cause I'm
you're going
always-
to get it.
Oh,
You're
you're
going to
not-
get a ton of rounds.
You're not going to have any trouble getting out.
You're going to
No
get a ton of
trouble.
rounds.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's what I was
You
looking
know-
to do because I literally, I don't do a whole lot. I work out
Yeah.
and that's about it. So,
And it'll be-
I'd say Aaron and
I
I
live
talked
up.
it. Once you start feeling comfortable with the chair and
Right.
you're going to go to the turn and get it figured out, you'll be out there, whether it's hitting balls or playing or whatever else. You're going to have a lot of opportunity because you just you said it took Mark a while to get used to the chair
Right.
and comfortable with it. But once he did, he's ready to go all the time.
Oh, and-
Same thing
and
with
the-
you. I mean,
and
once
the
you
thing
feel
is,
good with it, you'll be-
there's every golf member out there wants to play with Mark.
yeah, yeah,
And it's just because it's just so cool to see. His mindset is awesome.
we
Right.
got to get. We want to get you two together because
Without
the
a doubt.
mentality he has about what's going on and what you have about what's going on
Right.
is so similar.
Right.
that
Yeah.
Your minds. It's not the whining stuff that you were
No.
talking about those people before. You two have that mentality of we're living life. We're going at
I'm
it.
going to live my
Yeah.
fucking
Mark's,
life.
Yeah.
Mark's mentality is very simple. He goes, Aaron, he goes, if I die tomorrow, I've been a blessed man.
Yep.
I got a wonderful family. I got a wonderful sub-family with the Lowe's. I mean, the guy is like, he's literally our 10th brother. I mean, that guy is
He's appreciating life.
Yeah.
And even though we've been dealt a shit hand,
right.
well, I look at it now as a gift. It's made me a better person. I appreciate things more. I'm doing stuff like this,
Right.
and it's just means the world. But let's start back, like we were talking about Mark. When he was first diagnosed to now, because I've not really heard.
He was diagnosed June 19th, 2020, which so happens to be Lou Gehrig's birthday. Right? So
How about that?
Yeah, kind of creepy in a way.
Yeah.
And Mark is ALS versus what
And-
you have, but very similar.
Well,
Correct.
similar things where your body just shuts down.
Right. Yeah. So
But what is how old is Mark?
Mark is 53, 54, 53, 54.
He's younger than me.
Yeah.
I'm 56.
And so, this will be his 3-year anniversary. They do a walk. So, you talk about MSA, and there's not a whole lot of foundations out there that work on it.
No.
So they hook up with a foundation called Live Like Lou Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, their communication with Mark and my sister Mary and the family, and raising funds and helping people with wheelchairs and helping people with possibly having to redo your house and that type of thing. So that's been it's been a really big thing, right? And so they do a walk, a Live Like Lou Foundation walk around their development, which is Highland Park, which is across from Bobolinks.
Yeah. My
Right?
sister
In
used to
Avon.
live there.
Literally
My sister
directly
used to
across
live
from
there.
Bobolinks.
Yeah.
It's on the I think the 17th, Sunday the 17th. So if anyone wants to come out, you don't have to sponsor anything.
This Sunday,
It's the 17th of Sunday. Yeah. It's,
what time?
So it's
Sunday.
12 o'clock.
Okay, I can manage
Right.
that.
So and it's not this Sunday. It's,
Early stuff.
It's so the 17th. It's
Tomorrow's the 11th.
yeah. So it's got to be August. I'll double check with you on that. September.
Oh,
It is because it happens to be the weekend of our Ryder Cup.
Oh,
So it is September 17th, 12 o'clock, Highland Park, right across from Bobolinks. And, they meet one right on the corner there, and then just basically walk the development.
Well, you know what? Actually, at that point, I'm hoping that I'll have my wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Yeah,
I
and
can't walk that far
No,
with this.
You
thing.
should, I'm going to give you, do you have Mark's contact info?
You gave me his.
Yeah, I would call him because he went through a lot, not only getting the wheelchair, but getting his van. And that was a long
Those things are
process.
expensive.
Well, they're not cheap. that's
and
for
nothing.
sure.
Well, that's why my buddy's doing this fundraiser, because insurance doesn't cover
doesn't
that.
cover
Yeah.
it.
Insurance covers part of the wheelchair. They don't cover any of the renovations to the house,
Right.
or the shower,
Yeah. Really?
which I'm going to need all that.
And
Yeah.
everything when it comes to disabilities is expensive, right? So Mark's that para golfer that Mark has, I want to say it was $38,000, and we put a fundraiser just at Avon alone, and that
Right.
very first week, it was $20,000+
Yeah.
donated to Mark.
Oh, I was.
I mean, this
Yeah.
I was part of that.
Sandy donated to that.
When
how
I
cool
was-
is, how cool is that?
awesome is that?
I
That's cool.
donated right away because
Yeah.
I never even thought about it then that's something that
You could
could
do.
affect me
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Like, no, God, I used to want to out this guy
Right.
golf.
Hell, yeah.
And now we're come full circle and doing
Full
this. So
circle.
that's very cool.
How awesome is
It's just-
that?
It's just so
You are
cool.
back out playing, my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps. You
Yeah.
just give me
That's so
goosebumps
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing something that I've done my whole life that I love.
And I can't believe it didn't hit me a year ago until we were talking that night at Fratello's, and I'm like, well, I know Mark's not using that thing every day.
Right.
Mark's a great guy. I'm sure he'd be willing to, and that's when we kind of started the whole conversation about.
That response to
Yeah.
me took about 20 seconds.
I said they were sitting at the table, and I sent him a text and said, hey,
Yeah.
Sandy's situation, and he responded like 10 seconds later. He's like, "Yep, Yep. Whatever we can do.
Well,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you think about what this particular cart did for Mark, and Mark's going to pass eventually, right? And we keep that at Avon. I mean, think about how many other people that Mark cart is going to affect.
Yep.
Like I said, there's several people at Avon that, cart pass only, I can't play golf.
Yeah.
I mean, and Terry, which he's been very, very good with. He's our grounds guy.
Superintendent.
He's been very good with, if it's cart pass only for the rest of the crew, Mark can go pretty much anywhere. We just got to be careful where, we don't want to get him stuck.
We don't want to get him stuck.
Because, I mean, that paragraph
can't get him out.
is like 600 pounds. So, but, you're playing with 3 other guys. So,
and
hopefully
solo rider is like, I don't know what it was.
Probably less than that.
Or a lot less.
Yeah, probably 3 something. Or is it even less than that?
I think it's really up to. I'm going to look into
the one because yours is a little bit larger.
It's larger.
Yours is larger, so the one Mark has to be that weight to balance so when he stands up and leans over, it's got to have that weight.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This one didn't. Well,
we'll take a look at it. That's great.
But
I just think that
the fact that it changed his life.
It's going to change a lot of lives. This
whole experience is changing mine like you wouldn't believe,
right?
Yeah.
Mark was. I remember when you began to tell people what was happening with Mark, and we didn't see him for a while, and then we'd see him occasionally, and then he got this. And I was actually happened to be there the day when the inventor came and delivered it.
Right.
And now you see Mark all the time. It just it went from awesome. He's not around much to he's kind of there on a regular basis.
Yeah, you can.
And that's going to happen for you too.
I want to be there every damn day.
And the beauty of it is you can be on let's see, 4 tee box, and Mark will be on 1 tee box, and you'll hear his music.
Yeah.
He cranks it.
Yeah.
I love the place. And it was funny, after we were there, you left, and I ended up sitting talking with Frank Martov.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up driving me home.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I told him, talking to the guys, and I had so many people like, I'll play, like, awesome.
Perfect.
And then he's leaving my walker. And the whole ladies.
Oh, that was
there,
ladies' death day, I think, or something.
Yeah.
There was, I know a lot of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
A dozen ladies were, who's here?
Yeah.
Joan Barno, Linda Ludvigsen, Colleen Roggenberg, Jody Butler, and then Jamie Butler and Dave Fissy. And Frank's trying to get me to leave. He's like, what the fuck? Like, were you everyone here? I mean, literally, there's like a dozen other. I'm missing some names. Like, but I was like to give big hugs, so they're all coming and giving me a hug.
Yeah.
And then Zeke and Jamie and Jim Ernie and
I'll tell you when
he's like, what the hell? Do you know?
That day when you were out there, a lot of people saw you, and some people asked me what was going on. I told them, I said, we're getting them to use Mark's car so he can get out there.
Right.
And I can't tell you the number of people who came up to me and said, hey, when he wants to play with somebody, let me know.
Right.
I'm ready to go with him.
Right.
So, so if Aaron can't be there, I can't be there, someone, or Steve Morris can't be there, believe me, there's a list of people who are ready to play with you.
That's Avon Oaks.
It is.
That's what's really cool.
I couldn't tell you how many times.
Goosebumps.
Right. I couldn't tell you how many times I text my wife going, on my way out. An hour and a half later, she goes, you're not home yet. It's talking to everybody on the way out. Right?
And
either you sneak out or you just deal with it.
I have a wife not only who's hot, but she was 9 handicap in high school. She played in her golf team. You should see her at the ball. I want to get her back out. She'll play in the
Yeah.
league.
Sure.
That's awesome.
She's a
Yeah.
great swing, but she's very understanding, putting up my bullshit my whole life.
I was going to say, not just now, for a bunch of years.
Every day. I love her to death, but she totally understands
Yeah.
country club ball. Her dad, they've always been there. She gets it. So, I mean, even after we played, it's just like she just want to know how'd you do. Are you okay? And like, great, feeling good. Well, and then it's just how you get home. She's just so understanding.
Right.
I could have stayed there. I've been to Avon Oaks a lot of times.
Yeah.
Still.
Sure.
Oh,
2 in the morning playing cards in the grill room.
One thing leads to
And I
another.
don't get to like, fuck. It's just like, just be safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't drive. I mean,
Mm.
Yeah. A lot of times she wants to be there.
Yeah.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
That's the best. That's the best.
So
place.
let's talk more about Mark. And so diagnosis
2020.
2020. Mine was September 2019.
And you felt things
You felt-
beforehand, right?
You
Oh,
told
I felt-
me when you were diagnosed, but you said probably a year before that you had noticed
Yeah.
some things happening
Yeah.
that you couldn't
It
explain.
went for years because the first doctor thought I had Parkinson's, and then the MRI, no, it's not that. It went back and forth that for years,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what was going on.
What did it
I
take?
thought it was
Like
like
2 years for
vertigo.
them to kind of come with a diagnosis?
3,
3. Wow.
and I didn't think it was anything. I was like, fine. And then neurologist I see now was mentioned taking a DAT scan, pumped me full of nuclear fluid, goes to my body, to the brain. They do the tests, and he's like, yeah, it's
That's what it is.
Mhm.
So was
And-
it kind of, was it like process of elimination? Like, okay, it's not Parkinson's, it's not this, it's not that. So this is all we're left with?
Yes. And I thought it was MS. I was convinced. And he goes, no, it's not MS. And this particular test said it was. And I thought it was, a good thing.
Yeah.
Till I
Yeah.
said to him, at least have Parkinson's. And he's
Right.
like, I'd rather that Parkinson's that we have.
Wow.
It's not MS, though. He goes, it's a lot worse.
Thanks, Doc.
Fuck. Guess I'm fucked. And
I mean, I'd like to know that right from the beginning too. I don't need a doc saying,
I wanted
Yeah.
to say fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't, because he's a great guy. He's helped me a lot. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dr. Fernandez, for watching.
Is this through the clinic?
Yeah, Cleveland Clinic. And it's so fucking rare. There's no funding for it, because
Yeah.
so
And it's not a genetic thing.
no.
Huh.
No, you don't know how you get it. It just happens.
Just,
and when I read about it, I'm like, "Ooh, fuck!" Because some of my wife crying, and I'm like, "What's wrong? I'm fine."
I'm good.
And then that's when I started reading about it. And for a long time, I didn't read about it anymore.
Yeah.
Now I wanted some more, because I'm going to post online saying, "I'm supposed to be dying right now."
Yeah.
There's people who've had it, they're dead already.
Really.
And I'm fucking living. I'm
Living.
going to 30
Yep.
years golfing with these motherfuckers
Right.
for a long time.
Absolutely.
Aaron said it earlier, and you and Mark, you guys are going to start hanging out because the power of the mind
Yeah.
and the mindset you both have is so similar. You're living life. You're going to do what you
Yes.
do, and I think that helps.
Right.
I think that helps you versus the other group of people you talked about before who were they're going to go downhill fast.
Really
You
negative?
guys are going to keep.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And I have so much I want to share with him.
Yeah.
I try not to be overwhelming when I talk about meditation and what it's done.
Uh-huh.
But you go to these events and you see people who are healing themselves from terminal illnesses. One of the first one I went to in Cancun, Mexico, I saw a guy with ALS, 35 years old, in a wheelchair get up from his wheelchair
Really?
and walk on the stage.
Wow.
There
wasn't a dry eye in the
Oh, my God.
fucking
There was an article in
crowd.
Golf
They were
Digest.
cheering. I mean, you see, I'm getting emotional because you see
Yeah,
this
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and it's like, I can do this.
Right.
I can. It gives you hope. That's
There was
all
an
you
article in
need
Golf
is
Digest
something to
about a
do
pro-
to give you fucking
pro
hope.
golfer, younger guy, mid late 20s, was diagnosed with something, and he went down to like Costa Rica and just started living with like shaman or whatever down there, and it was all mental stuff, and he's up doing the meditation and stretching and all this kind of stuff, and he's back playing golf again, and he was told, you're done, things are over, and he took that mental that other approach versus the woe is me, and the guy's back playing golf.
Right.
Your mind can heal your body. It's so deep, and there's so many times I've gone through it. I won't bore everyone with it, even though I've talked a lot about on my podcast.
Yeah.
I'd love to take them to an event.
Yeah.
And see people, even just gives you some more time.
Right.
It changes everything about you when
Right.
you see people who were told you got 2 months to live, get your affairs in order. And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were in a wheelchair, they couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Now they're on stage going, hey fuckers, I'm living.
Having a good
Right.
time.
And meditation is what's
Right.
done it.
Yeah.
It healed me.
That's awesome.
And that's what I'm doing too. And I'm
So
going to
the
keep
beauty
doing it.
the beauty of Mark's diagnosis. And so basically what it does is it kind of suffocates you. That's the end result, right?
Mhm.
Your lungs start collapsing. All your muscles around your diaphragm and everything, it just starts collapsing, right? So that's, you start losing your voice. Once you start losing your voice, then it's, so there's people out there that get diagnosed with ALS, and it basically started here. So they're gone in 2 years, right? Maybe. Mark started in his foot. So, we were discussing a little bit earlier about, Mark was diagnosed in 2020, but several years before that, he started having some issues with a leg, like drop foot, right? So went to the doc, he got a brace for his drop foot, and then it started in his other foot, and I could, oh my God, I can almost picture the day he walked in with both his braces on, and he's like, look at this, I'm walking perfect. So he was still walking, he was still playing golf. It was a little difficult for him. I mean, the guy he was a 4 or 5 handicap, like you, right? And, he loved playing golf, right? So I think he probably had his diagnosis earlier than that, but his true diagnosis was 2020. But I think that was all starting maybe 2 years before that.
Yeah.
I had first met him.
5 years.
I had first met him when he had the one brace on,
One brace, yeah.
and he had something happen. He'd hurt his leg or something,
Yeah.
and it wasn't healing right.
Right.
And so he had the one brace on,
Right.
and then it just kind of progressed
Right.
from there, and that never got better.
Right.
And then other stuff started
Once
happening.
it started on the other foot or the other leg, then we started looking at it a little closer.
What's happening? Yeah.
Something's going on.
Kind of very similar to what you were saying.
Very
It's like
similar.
You had some
Again,
things happening, couldn't
Yeah,
explain it.
It's test
Yeah.
after test after test after test, and
They got nothing. It sucks, but I'm going to text him tonight. And
yeah,
just
he
say,
won't respond till tomorrow morning because he's probably in bed now because they go to bed pretty early.
Okay.
My sister Mary gets up at 3 o'clock-ish, 3:30 in the morning. She preps for her workout.
I do that too, but I got to pee.
She goes
and I go back to
She
bed.
goes to work out at like 4:30.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh!
every day, and it's I don't know how she does it, but it kind of releases all the anxiety and the
Yeah.
energy that
Gives her
'cause
something.
she has her friends at the boot camp thing that she goes to. Then she goes to another place and does an elliptical for like an hour. It's just
Gives her a release.
It's just
yeah. Yep.
And her kids, they've got 4 boys, and all 4 of them are just absolutely awesome.
I'm sorry, we got a timeout. How are we doing on time, by the way? Okay. We'll do a pee break. We got to finish.
Do
I mean, it's like I take it's like half an hour later.
So
boom.
what do you take?
It's a blueberry 3 milligram. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, but it's a gummy, and it's the CBD or whatever it is. I
And
don't know what it
THC.
is.
I was taking.
I'm out, and it's like the best
It's
sleep.
indica, I'm sure. That's the sleepy
I
one.
should probably read the label.
I was taking every night 2 32 milligram indicas.
Oh my god!
64. Yeah.
I'm
and
taking like 3 milligrams.
And
I'm
some
freaking
nights
out.
I'd take 2 more, over 100.
You might have an issue.
Well, that's why I have this. I do have an issue. I can't smoke weed anymore.
Yeah.
I did too much and it
Yeah.
almost killed me. I literally cannot do it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm telling you, it's just
syndrome. I got rare syndromes. I'm
Yeah.
pretty fucking special.
special, all right. Yeah. No, I'm just telling you, it puts me to sleep. Once I'm asleep, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes these things just race.
Oh, yeah. It just rattles.
Yeah, so it just
boom. It gives me that half an hour.
For a long time,
Right.
it was
And I'm
great.
out.
And then all of a sudden, I was doing so much.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's a
that's why I
great
can't do
story.
it anymore.
We just had the member, right? So the day before the member, I have my card so I can go to Rise and pick weed up and do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got these new gummies. And, I'm like, okay. So I pull into Avon the morning of the first day of the member. And I take the package out. And the writing is so small on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would need like binoculars. So I didn't know how much to take. So I'm like, well, I'll just take one gummy. Took a gummy. Went in, got ready and everything. Hit some balls. I was putting, and while I'm putting, I'm like, I can feel a little something going on. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's starting to hit me. I get to the first hole, and I am totally stunned. Right? So
I'm going to need a timeout.
I'm playing with Kemper. So Johnny Kemper looks at me and goes, so how much did you take? I go, I think it was like 100 milligrams. He goes, oh, please tell me you didn't take it.
You took 100?
No, it felt like 100. He goes, please tell me you didn't take 100 milligrams. And he goes, because you're going to be a lot of holes left before you start coming down.
After that, you just go inside and lay down.
Right?
Go home and go to bed.
I want to do it right now.
Hey, you're
Well, I
done.
didn't hit the ball that bad. I don't remember hitting the ball. Like, I was on the third hole, and one of the other guys was chipping onto the green, right? So I'm sitting there, and I look at John and I go, hey, why is it taking him so long to chip this ball? And he looks, he goes, Aaron, he chipped it like 10 minutes ago. He's waiting for you to putt.
He's waiting for you. He's wondering why it's taking you so long to putt.
I putt and I make it. I go, let's go on to the next hole. And then, about the 8th hole, it's finally started to calm down. It was only 10 milligrams,
Subside.
but I haven't done 10 milligrams of THC in years, right? So it was like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
boom.
10. Think about that. I was
Right.
doing 64
64.
a night,
Right.
Holy
and
crap.
sometimes double that.
yeah.
Oh my
And that's
God.
why I can't do it anymore, which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Look at me. I'm a little kid. I'm doing like 3 milligrams just to go to sleep.
How smart was that to start out with 10 milligrams for the first time in 10 years in the first day of your member tournament?
Let's jump right into the deep end.
Yeah, you dove head first in the deep end with that.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny shit. Now we're gonna have to keep that in the podcast. What are we at time wise now? All right, that's fucking awesome.
All good, bud.
We had we'll do another one. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, and so
Aaron.
now that I've been here, so we're gonna have to do an earlier podcast because Mark and Mary go to bed pretty early. But Mark can bring his wheelchair and we can do it down there.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
We'll just bring whatever we got to bring down there.
I'd love this. I want you two guys to hook up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Talk. I mean, it's.
Well, I'm gonna text him even though he's.
No, you can text him. He'll
See,
text you in the morning.
I stay up till like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason for that. I won't bore you, but at that point I start feeling tired. I go lay down, no CPAP with drugs, and just
Out you go.
I sleep.
Yeah.
So you normally got to do a CPAP?
I was doing it. I can't stand it.
Are you getting good sleep?
That's like a baby.
Yeah. That's
With no
good.
CPAP.
Yeah, Mark's got the.
Yeah.
He's
No
got the
CPAP.
nose one.
Yeah.
I had them all. I had the full mask, the nose one, I mean, you name it. And I just sucked until last February, middle of February. That's when I came back to life. I was so sleepy.
I'm gonna say would you say you came to grips with what it is? You picked your mental attitude for it, and then you started feeling better about things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never stopped meditating. It got to the point where I was living my shit.
Yeah.
Being healthy. I knew I was going to get there.
I remember
it fucking happened. I'm like,
it was your first or second podcast that I watched. And
depressing.
no, it wasn't depressing. It was you saying, hey, I'm in a better place now. Things were real dark 6 months ago. But the first or second one, you're like, I feel better now. I got a better attitude. But you were talking about prior to that your mental attitude was you were bad.
I never had depression or anxiety in my life. I never had a good life.
Yeah, well.
And then it hit like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
But then the meditation events what got me going.
Yeah.
And that was the reason to start the podcast. But then even last year it was a real good shit.
So what's the medication? What is it that you take?
Oh, that's a long conversation that I love to talk about, and I want to talk about Mark.
So Mark
it's deep.
Mark
deep.
took. He actually had a port in, so he did an IV of what they call Ravicata. It took like 40 minutes to infuse through your system, and that was actually donated by the ALS Corporation. It was kind of a test type thing.
Huh.
And then, not too long after that, they stopped it.
Love having during that.
Yeah.
Everybody say hello.
Hola.
She's taking the puppies out.
You ready to play some golf again too? Absolutely.
I'm telling them how a good golfer you were.
He said you're scratching,
So
we're gonna
you playing?
that's pretty good.
How'd you meet?
Bowling Green.
Oh, okay.
She's from Michigan here.
Oh, okay.
There's a podcast about with her, and she did awesome. Because there was guys who were like, bring your wife, not only because they smash her from the blue tees.
Yeah.
She go to Lacey's and wham,
Right past.
past them. In your drive. Well,
Yep.
they liked her tight shirt and
And then next year,
short skirts.
Right.
They said next year,
she looks good.
don't bring your wife, she beats us.
Right.
That was no. She hasn't played in so long. So when she short games,
Yeah. Well,
fuck it. She got in the car, drink her out, see you next day.
Yeah.
She's a great golfing wife.
Yeah.
She gets it. She
awesome.
plays fast. She's not. She's not a hit and giggle chick. She's
Yeah.
a hit.
I love
Fuck
it.
it. Pick it up. Let's go.
Let's go. I'll play the next hole.
Yeah,
If I
so
get 18 in 2.5 hours, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Yeah.
get her back involved
Yeah.
too.
There's another
Um,
mindset,
Yep.
right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Right?
It's and we're gonna do that. We're gonna. I guess I don't know how long we're at now, but this is fucking awesome. We could have gone for a long more time,
Oh,
but
another half
thank
hour.
you guys.
Thank
We'll,
you.
we'll end
Sandy.
this here.
Yeah, absolutely. buddy.
Aaron, I love you guys.
We'll bring Mark next time.
Yes,
Honest to
Yeah.
God, now that I
we'll
see,
do it down there.
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. It gives me
Yeah.
goosebumps, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna text him.
That'll be an awesome
I'm gonna talk to
conversation.
him at some point. We'll be
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
for a few hours.
Hey, let's
And-
play some golf.
Yeah.
And
Here's the plan. We go out, we play 18, 3 of us and Mark, and we come back here,
right.
do a little podcast on the course, come back here, do a little follow up, pay up the bets.
How about that?
You
We
know,
could have Tyler.
Pay off the
Pay off
bets.
the bets.
Last time Tyler could come out and record it.
Yeah.
He did record it. Well, that episode was only 12 minutes because there's only so much.
Yeah.
So many times
I watched it.
you can watch
Yeah.
the same shit.
But the 360 that you did.
Did he just,
I wasn't trying to do that.
did he get you going down the first fairway like you were drunk?
Oh,
I mean, not even hitting this first ball yet, and he does a 360.
I know.
I'm like, raise your hand. He goes, it's not hard, not as easy as you think.
It's.
And then you tell him he's going over the bridge, slow it down to like 2.
I did. I'm not going in the fucking water. I'll die if I do. So I can't wait because that'll be perfect when we'll do golf. There's only so many shots, and
Right.
then the rest of it we sit out here,
Yeah,
Yeah.
have drinks and talk.
that's cool. Yeah.
It's gonna happen, Mark. We love you, and thank you, everyone. Doug Crumlin, you're on low.
Thanks,
Great
everybody.
guys. Thanks, guys. We'll
Great
talk and see you soon.
You're the man, Sandy.
care.
Yeah,
You're
buddy.
the man.
Yeah,
Love
buddy.
you guys.
Love you.